Hey everybody, this is Sterling McGarvey, and I am here with
Sid Misra, line producer for FIFA Street.
And we are checking out demo of FIFA Street.
That's right. So I don't know, we'll just walk through the build and just show off some of the stuff in the game, and then if there's any questions, just feel free to bring me along the way. But first thing we'll do is just jump into sort of the hit the streets mode, and kind of want to talk about some of the depth and the game types we have. So pretty standard, like what a lot of people would expect from a FIFA Street game, perhaps, is 5-a-side. If you've ever watched sort of the Nike commercial, Nike 5 commercials, it's very much based on that cage type of matches. 5 players on each team, more physical, maybe a bit more tactical too. But then we got a bunch of different styles too. So Pana rules, for those that know what Pana is nutmeg, or putting the ball through a guy's legs. And the idea is that you get 3 points for doing that, 2 points for putting a ball over someone's head, 1 point for just beating him on the ground. And you're banking these points and you cash them in by scoring. We have futsal, which is kind of what we see as a graduation point from maybe FIFA Street to FIFA. So we know there's a lot of guys who really love the idea of FIFA, really want to get into FIFA, maybe are a bit intimidated because a lot of their friends got in a bit earlier and just will kill them if they go in and play. So FIFA Street kind of levels the playing field, gets them more comfortable playing a football game. Futsal is no walls. You have to, get your passes right. You got to aim your shots properly. You still don't have to worry about stuff like offsides maybe, but fouls start to come into play too. So it starts getting you to the mindset of, okay, what is a proper football game? And then another game mode we have is last man standing. The idea is that you score a goal, you lose a guy. So you'll start with 4 guys on your team, you score, you lose. So you're now 3 versus 4, or another one, 2 versus 4. And the idea is that you're just trying to get down to 0. And then we have other ways. You can create your own matches using any number of players from 1 to 6, turning on fouls if you like, with or without goalies for some of the matches. And then, a lot of layers of customization, so people can kind of create the style of game that sort of suits them, that they like to play in, types of environments they like to play in. So we'll jump into maybe this 3v3 game.
Now, I do have one question.
Sure.
Can you, when you're playing online against other people, is that something you can incorporate your own rules, or are you're confined to what's set in the game already?
Yeah, I mean, right now you're confined. I mean, one of the things we need to be cognizant of is not fragmenting the online base. So we really want to be sure that everyone can get into a game and make sure there's a lot of competition when they play. We're just jumping into Venice. Again, there's over 35 environments in our game. Far more than we've had in FIFA Streets in the past. I think FIFA Street 3 had 7. So we really wanted to create a lot of visual appeal through the environments, and also to be able to capture all the different types of game styles that we have, and the number of players on the pitch. So, here's one. It's quite a big pitch for a 3v3, but there's an option, if you'd like, you can choose smaller ones too. And then just to get into some of the gameplay detail, so Mike's just starting already to show off some stuff. We'll call it street ball control. So all this stuff that you're going to see is kind of new to FIFA Street, different from what you might expect from what you see in FIFA. So what Mike's doing right there, we call, standing control, and pull the left trigger. Think of a racing game. Left trigger is your brake, right trigger is your accelerate. So as you hold the left trigger of the brake, you use the left analog to start moving the ball around. And if you watch street videos on YouTube or something, you'll see this a lot. The idea is that he's trying to bait the defender in. He's trying to get him to maybe miss a tackle. So if he's able to get him, hold the ball forward and then get the defender to bite, he can pull the ball back and then make a move. Like there he goes, puts it through his legs for a Pana. He can decide to put the ball into the air. And again, putting the ball in the air is quite simple. Just hit the right bumper. You can exit. You can either keep hitting the right bumper to kind of juggle, and then when you're ready to exit, you just pick a direction, and he's going to try to make a move in that direction. So again, try to make it really easy to pull off some cool stuff, but you still have to be able to do the timing right. So it's not about pressing a button and then letting a canned animation play out. That was a lot of the complaints in the previous FIFA Street series. Attacking or defending, you really got to make sure you're timing things correctly if you're going to be able to have like a cool move or stop them.
So my question in particular, from some of the hands-on time I've gotten and the way you link up tricks, it reminds me a lot of Tony Hawk in particular, the way you kind of chain your combos together and you're trying to beat your defenders. What other game, were there any other games in particular that you guys took a look at aside from FIFA when you thought about how you can incorporate a different feel from the traditional FIFA Street games?
We kind of went in and we ran the gamut on a bunch of different games. So even like obviously SSX is being made up
Right.
up at EAC too. We learned some lessons from those guys. They were in development probably a good 10 to 12 months before we even started, at least at a concept phase. So we learned some lessons from those guys for sure. They obviously have the concept of chaining skill moves together on a snowboard. And even like fighting games, really, like you think of your Street Fighters, and we might not have to do it in overtly arcade style, but just the basic concept that we'll give you the tools, we'll give you some pieces, and then the moves, the ones that'll end up being the coolest ones that people start sharing with each other are going to be ones that we've never seen before, because someone's just going to create it as they play.
Gotcha.
Where's the defense?
Maybe we can jump into World Tour and just start talking
Yeah,
about
let's
that.
check it out.
One of the things as Mike starts going into it, the demo coming out on February 28th is kind of everyone's chance to jump into World Tour before you actually get the game. So we'll have a portion of World Tour available where you get to start creating your squad, and then any progress you make in the demo gets carried into the full game. So you'll be able to play a few matches, start leveling up your players, start leveling up, unlocking some skill moves, growing his attributes, and then carry it into the full game, and you have a team ready to go. The cool thing about World Tour is a fully connected mode, for those that are connected. So all the teams that you'll get to compete against as you play, when you're connected, are teams that have been created by other FIFA Street gamers. So it populates the different teams you compete against. And also, you can then choose if you're going to play in any tournaments. You can choose to play if you're going to play online, head-to-head against someone. So within the game mode itself, you have the option to play offline, kind of on your own console, or go head-to-head against someone online, which I believe is one of the first for an EA Sports title.
Sorry. Will you be able to incorporate real-life players into your team, or is it just randomly generated?
No, right from the beginning. So what you do is you create your guy, and if any of your friends have decided to create their own guys in FIFA Street, the first match you play in, you'll see your friends' created characters in that match, and you can start building your team, basically with you and your buddies. And that's sort of the premise of the mode, is to take you and your buddies on this journey to become the Street Football champions. What you can also do then, as you can continue to compete, is when you win challenges, so in the first level you complete all the challenges, you're going to get presented with the 3 captains of the teams you just played, and you can bring one of those guys onto your team. They'll typically be slightly better than your team is at that point. And same with the second round, you win all the challenges, you're going to be able to bring another guy onto your squad. When you get into the European stage, your challenges are against actual street footballers. So we've signed about 40 guys that really wanted to be part of FIFA Street, created teams out of them, you'll play them against the challenge matches, you can bring one of those guys onto your squad. When you get to the world stage, your challenge matches are against actual club teams, and they're kind of randomly assigned, so you can eventually start pulling in different guys. Think of sort of the ultimate team concept, where you're kind of building your squad based on the guys you're kind of by chance able to unlock for yourself. So as Mike's going through the map, obviously you can see that there's different stages and that there's a progression. You start off in that local stage and you work your way up to a national, to a European, to a world stage. And along the way, you're trying to grow your team. And the way to grow your team is to be entertaining. So winning is obviously important. It's how you're going to progress. But growing your squad is based on how entertaining you are on the pitch itself. So even if you're losing, there's motivation for you to just keep doing something to battle back and earn enough points to start leveling up your players, and then being able to unlock cool moves so you can win the next time you play.